It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. She off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk through to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, my ego don't come, my people make we shout, my ego don't come, my ego don't come, man of the masses, my ego don't come, my ego diary politico, my ego don't come, this one not the off in mind, my ego don't come, and in the touchlight every corner. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder, my ego don't come, my people make we shout, my ego don't come, my ego don't come, man of the masses, my ego don't come, my ego diary politico, my ego don't come, this one not day off in mind, my ego don't come, person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you loud. My yegun don't come. My people make you shout. My yegun don't come. Man of the masses, my ego don't come, my ego diary politico, my ego don't come, this man not the off in mind, my ego don't come, aha, now you not done here, all these bad politicians then welcome. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Good evening to you, good morning to you, and good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. And this is Mayegun Live.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe àní Mayegun máa wí. Ó sì tún ṣe àgbọ̀ níbẹ̀ o.
Thank you very much. Share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun today we will start in a moment.
And I know waiting they annoy me pass for this election matter. Those of you now will be say una dey abroad. Una dey abroad and come out for this country because una dey find good life for una self and una children. I make una run comot because this country is not good, not let una stay. I make una run comot. But you can't come out now dey abroad. You dey from there they campaign for PDP and APC. We kill this country. We make this country dey like this so. We not make you feel stay. You still dey campaign for them. Now Google kill you. Now Ogun, there is no two ways about it. Ogun go do collaboration with Thunder, fire you. The way you take go empty-handed, now that empty-handed, now you take come back. You they enjoy the good things of life, oh. You see, government provide good road for them. Security you get. What anything way that you they pay for, you they receive and they receive light, good road, good social amenities. But you they say make we see the vote for this PDP and APC for here where you live, where you because of a wrong. It not go better for you. Anything where you lay your hand upon for that side, it not go move forward. Not because now come on. Now wait till you bring upon yourself and they receive so. Because I can you imagine how this country don't die rich? The thing can't pay you. You can't run. You don't even consider people where it still run no way not female can reach there. All of them back for Libya road. Today now that they kidnap who they kidnap. They send videos to their loved ones for yeah. May that they bring out some money as they occupy their pikin. You can't still get mad because you don't cross. You don't dare obodo ibo. Anyhow we work out for yeah. You not concern you again. You still the campaign. You still you get mad on your useless phone. On your useless phone, we go put you for trouble. Say you dey campaign for all these old men we kill this country. You not go better for you. Anything where you lay your hand upon for good, you not go prosper. You will never see light in your life. The way you say they pray for darkness for this country, light go run from you. Every good things of life go run for you. It go run for you and your family and your children. Because if they wish other children bad luck, how your children go take better, I not go better for them. Now wait till you bring upon yourself, now they receive so this early morning. Now I say me I can't tell now where they vote, they say una want to say government and leaders where kill this country, where no one made this country better. In fact, today now youths now they don't get safe for this country. You see they agitate for them, not go better for you.
That was on a special request.
Lórí Facebook. Lórí YouTube.
Poverty is the worst thing any human should ever experience. Poverty takes away logic. Poverty weakens and destroys self-esteem. Poverty destroys self-confidence. Poverty belittles you and make less of human of you. And poverty is so scary that even those who have money are so poor. Poverty of the mind. Nigeria is a breeding ground for poverty, and they actually call it multi-dimensional poverty. Now listen to this, using numbers, using figures. Even though Nigerians have been made or have been turned into statistics, it doesn't matter where they come from. But this hit so differently. You will not believe it that out of 36 states in Nigeria, plus Abuja, Federal Capital Territory, 37 administrative states in Nigeria, only just about 5 or 6 states have poverty ratio that is less than 30%. Now, tonight, that is why I've told you many times that if you have any devil you are praying against, the one you haven't seen, but you believe that is all over your life, is trying to bring you down, is trying to make you poor and everything, poverty, they have used poverty to manipulate you off. Let's use these facts and figures to differentiate between facts and fiction. The devils you should be praying or you should be physically confronting are the same criminal politicians that you are ready or bleeding or dying for, so to say. Listen to all these states in Nigeria. They have over 60% poverty rates, multi-dimensional poverty. Then you put this figure beside the supposed population. And these are areas mostly where people are bragging of using their numbers to choose criminals and make terrorists, and including economic saboteurs as their leaders and president of Nigeria. Now, that is a misfortune destiny, a misfortune entanglement. It's not unity, it's not relationship. Nigeria and everybody in there, we are in an entanglement. Yeah? Multi-dimensional poverty. Listen to this. Sokoto State, 90.5% of people in Sokoto State are living in extreme poverty. Over 90.5% of them. Kiloku, what is now left? A whole state. But they have millions of votes to make other rogues and criminals and put them in power in Nigeria because of what Nigeria is, yeah? Bayelsa State, can you believe this? Bayelsa is the 4th richest state in Nigeria by allocation. Bayelsa State, poor people in Bayelsa State, they are over 88%. I'm still coming back to the real numbers, though. Just put them beside what the whole figure could look like. And then imagine it before I get to that part. Gombe, 86% of the people living in Gombe State are living in extreme poverty. Jigawa, 84% of them are living in extreme poverty. Plateau State, 84% of them are living in poverty. Yobe, 83%. Kerbi, 82%. Taraba, 79.4%. Ebonyi, 78% of people living in Ebonyi are living in extreme poverty. Now, Zamfara, 78%. Cross River State, 75.4%. Benue State, 75%. Bauchi, 74%. Kaduna, 74%. Katsina, 73%. Borno, 73%. Akwa Ibom, 71%. Niger, 69%. Adamawa, 69%. Ogun State, my own state, 70% of them are living in poverty, which I can confirm to you. Confirmed, if not more. Kano State, 67%. Enugu, 64%. Rivers, where the wicked rules, 63% of them are living in extreme poverty. Kogi State, 62% of them. Nasarawa, 62% of them. Then Oyo State, these are the ones below 50% poverty rate. Oyo is 48%. Kwara is 48%. Abuja is 48%. Delta is 47%. Imo is 40%. Osun is 40%. Ekiti is 36%. Edo State is 35%. Anambra is 32%. Abia is 29%. Lagos is 29%. Then Ondo is 27%. But you see all these percent. Let's put them into figures now. And then take a look at when they said Nigerians are living in extreme poverty. Listen to what poverty is described as, where majority of them have been subjected to, sadly. So poverty is defined as deprivation of those things that determine the quality of life, including food, clothing, shelter, and safe drinking water, but also such intangibles as the opportunities to learn and to enjoy the respect of fellow citizens, which means an opportunity to improve yourself, better your life, and indeed improve the society you are living in, which is the whole country generally. But the politicians in Nigeria, which you can attest to, this is their result. I decided to take a bit of a check. if the poverty in Sokoto State is 91% of the people living in Sokoto, that means only 9% of the people living in Sokoto State can actually afford some little things like food, shelter, and others like that. 91 to 92% of them are living in extreme poverty. What is the population of Sokoto State? I'm going to go check. Now, Sokoto, which says, so their population says they are about, hang on, I'm going to use subtotal because this one is, yeah. So their population says they are projected to be about 7 million. Okay. So if 90% of 7 million, what is 90% of 7 million? You can possibly say maybe 6 million, right? 90% of 7, right? Just random figure now, okay? Now that means 6 million people are living in extreme poverty 23 years after them. And they get so much money as well. From what? From the covers of the robbing Peter to pay Paul. Now take a look at this. If the population of Bayelsa State, now, it's nearly 90% of the people in Bayelsa State, a state that once produced Goodluck, Egbere, Jolantan, oil spillage, the destroyed environment, destroyed, agriculture, they destroyed the sea life, and so many things that could have been opportunities of for people to actually really make a living, so to say, have been destroyed and nothing is replaced, right? Now, people there are living in, 90% of them are living in extreme poverty. Now, the population of Bayelsa State is not that much. It's one of the smallest states in Nigeria. Now, let's go see. Bayelsa. Right. Now, the population of Bayelsa is put at between 2.8 million and 3 million people. Okay. Now, if nearly 90% of them are poor, that means more than 2 million of them are living in extreme poverty that Nigeria and the politicians from that part have helped in dipping them into. Okay. But they have numbers to also make somebody the president too, because national politics of Nigeria. Now here is another one. States like let me look for another one. Let's say Kirby states. Kirby states, they have the population of poor people which crosses over 82%, right? Now, if you look for Kirby, in fact, I want to check that of Kogi. Kogi is also always in the news. The population of Kogi is put between 4.2 million and then 5.2 million people. Where are they on the table? Kogi State. Now, the population of Kogi State at 4.2 to 5.2 million, and the number of poor people within that space are over 61%, which is like 62% of them. Now, put that percentage beside the total population, and you probably will get the picture. Now, if you now look around and be like, how do you explain how we became poorer? Last night, I did a session where I did my best I'm coming. That of Lagos says the number of people living in poverty in Lagos State, is put at 29.4%. Meanwhile, the population of Lagos State is put at between 22 and 25 million unverified. Okay, so if you have that, you will say, well, less than 30% of people living there are living in poverty, and that poverty is primarily like well defined. If you say the lack of not just lack of food primarily, okay, other intangibles like opportunities where you could easily have something doing that could, that could give you or earn you a living that can at least pay for shelter, pay for food, and pay for some basic things that you can easily say you are a little bit above that poverty level. So that number of people like that are many in Lagos, and there are many. With what I have here, in states like Ekiti, Edo, Anambra, Abia, Lagos, and Ondo. If you look at, except for Ekiti, which has a small number of, they have a small number of population, and then a lot of educated people who actually are mostly civil servant states, and then also mostly, farmers and agriculturalists and all that. So in their context, you can say minimally they are above the threshold of the state struck by the poverty in Nigeria. 36% is Ekiti. Now, Edo, and then you see Anambra, where they also have a bigger commercial capital, Onitsha. Onitsha serves millions of traders across the region, which means that opportunities of, apart from, the lack of government, presence, so to say, trading, having access to, having to do something that could easily turn to money, will easily take you above the water, where when they are talking about people who could barely feed, who could barely pay their bills, who could barely do anything because they have no money. And the reason why they don't have money is because they don't have any real job, they don't have real skills, and the opportunities that could put them above water the opportunity space continue to shrink, because they continue to be a little bit become outcast in everyday hustle and bustle that continue to change, so to say. Okay, so opportunity. Now, if you look at Lagos, the commercial art center of Nigeria, that is a place where you have almost everyone from every part of Nigeria. And why? It has the biggest seaport, right? The busiest seaport, the busiest international airport. Okay, most of what do you call it? Most of the biggest oil companies in Nigeria, as much as the oil is being drilled elsewhere, most of them have to have their headquarters in Lagos, for the reason best known to them. I don't know. Now, Lagos has that as a former capital, federal capital of Nigeria, right? It enjoys that magnetic attraction because opportunities are there. As much as people are mostly creating their own opportunities, mostly from most criminal ways, as maybe I shouldn't use mostly, some of them criminally, as Lagos is come to be known. However, if you look at the general image, it paints just one single picture. Here is the point. If you begin to pick and pluck the figures from those percentages, right? If you begin to pluck all those figures out one by one, and you put all of them together, then you will see where that statistic of over 128 million people are living in extreme multi-dimensional poverty. What is multi-dimensional poverty? There's poverty where you say, I can't feed myself, which is mostly the final punch of what they have done out to you. However, there are other things that are already existing. We call them existential problems that are eventually contributory to your way. They contribute so much to your pathway into the extreme poverty that Nigeria has dug for you. How? Every time you hear about Nigeria is doing great from the mouth of the scoundrel, the criminals looting you. Now, every day as well, you read about how much of your own, your country is being shared among creditors, people who actually give them loans at ridiculous interest rates, which they have no intention of paying back. But nevertheless, the entire country can burn while they get those free money. You probably are in the know of that, but never to the extreme of how much it affects you, rather, right? Inflation. Now you work, you have your business, you working or whatever it is that you do legitimately, right there. you expect value for that, for whatever you get as your reward for working hard. Now, the value to what you get paid is not determined by the level of or the much work you do. The value of what you get paid is determined by the lazy criminals who take decisions on that paper money that they give to you. Now, with that, it simply means you work hard just like everyone else, but you get rewarded by devalued currency. What is the reason for your currency devaluation, right? It's because the criminals who have failed to invest in real nation building production using the population or your population to your own advantage, they have become so docile, so lazy that they will rather trade you off. And what did they do? They went out there. They've got nothing to back your currency. Now you are working, you have your life, you are not spending all this currency that we are talking about. But right there, where you work at and put your money in a bank, or you have that money in your hand, then you go out there to at least, because you see, if you have 1,000 naira, it may sound so much. The value of that 1,000 naira is determined by what that 1,000 naira can buy for you. Now, if you work so hard and you get paid that 1,000 naira in multiple fold, only for you to realize that even that 1,000, as big as it sounded, right, the value of it barely buys you a plate of meal. Now, then you have to consider that you need to live on, you need to feed on, you need to eat before you be able to work and earn more money. Then as much as hard as you work and as much as you get rewarded, so also is the value of what you are given has become decimated. And that directly are the things that pushes you gradually and gradually until it gets to a stage where that money will no longer be able to buy you what it used to buy you when you were putting same work. Now, you are working the same job, you are working harder as ever, you are getting paid the same thing, it looks so good, but the value is less. You know that, Abi? So at that point, as they continue to make these terrible and terrible decisions that you possibly choose to be blind to, right? And they continue to hit you directly and indirectly, then you probably just wake up one day, even that source of getting paid, that valueless naira, has closed. And there's nothing you can do about it. No, you see the difference, you see the transition. And that's what happened to many of you. Many of you. It all started from, well, things started like going up, and what you hold as your own money, day by day, the value of it continued to shrink and shrink. You continue to lament and hoping that it's going to stop. It's going to stop, right? Until you are now realizing that some of the things you could afford to pay for 7 years ago, today you can no longer conveniently pay for them anymore, right? Now that is the decision, the consequences of the decisions of the rogues that are already, sort of programming you, getting you prepared to your journey to your poverty, no matter where you think you are now. So what does that mean again? It simply means that one day you wake up, that job is no longer there. That business is no longer there. You no longer have that source of income anymore. Now your savings are going to be depleted. At that point, you begin to realize what has hit you. That poverty that you talk about sometimes when you have money, I can never be poor in my life in Jesus' name, and the rest of that, the devil that you are not praying or confronting are plotting to send you down that road. And gradually, millions of the people around you are falling into that poverty. Numbers don't lie, you. Sure, you get. As they are preparing you for your bogus and fraudulent elections again, you have the number to bring them on, but you have no number to bring yourself out of poverty. The people who put you there, exactly where they want you to be, that's exactly where you are. And you are working so hard to remain there with your one Nigeria. This should be something so personal to some of you. This shouldn't even be political. Because as you can see, 36 states in Nigeria, they are controlled by APC, controlled by PDP. They are controlled by other people too. These are the people, discussing about your situation. They are the people deciding what will happen to you, when you should be safe, what happened to you next morning, what's going to happen next morning, no matter how prayerful you are. These are the people whose decisions decide if you are going to lead a normal life as a human being or not. But guess what? They are putting you exactly where they want you to. Initially, we are the out of school children. You hear that all the time. Now, today in Nigeria, now listen to this. So, today in Nigeria, from 13.5 million unemployed people 7 years ago, they have now jumped to over 86 million, nearly 90 million unemployed Nigerians. Guess what? They said in this poverty bracket, the people, they said 63% of the people affected by poverty in Nigeria are mostly young people. People between the ages of 0 to 25. They are the people mostly affected by poverty because many of them were born into poverty. Some of them are born into a mid-poverty life that eventually their parents lost everything, right? And when they say Nigerians poor and all that, the numbers of the poor people, they fall in that, they form the largest portion of that poor people, 63%. Do the math. If they say that 126 million people in Nigeria are living in extreme poverty, multi-dimensional poverty. Now, do the math and see, what is the 63% of that if that makes up the young people? So many of you who are defending APC, PDP today, most of you are teenagers, some of you are in your early 20s, some of you are in your early 30s. What you are actually suffering from is that you are suffering from multi-dimensional poverty. You've never experienced anything like a real good life, for real. Okay, if you are under 30 in Nigeria and you are born and raised in Nigeria, under 30, 70 to 80% of you have never really experienced anything called good life. You were born in Nigeria into a dysfunctional country led by kleptomaniacs, criminals, crooks, and then other kind of unthinkable societal rejects. Where when you were born, the country you were born into, it is appropriate for people to abuse you. It is appropriate for the people in authority to abuse you. It is also appropriate as well, right, for you to apologize and worship the people who don't give a damn about you. Now, that's the country you are born into. That's the world you are born into. Talking about good life, talking about a normal, moderate human life, respectable life that is lacking around there, yeah, is like talking about, something that you probably can't even imagine. You were born in a country where it is darkness. Electricity is a luxury. Security is a luxury. I'm talking about security of lives and property, security of everything, including your life savings. Now, the level of those who now use their religion to manipulate you, to deceive you, and to cajole you, they are able to get away with that because you were born into the world of superstition, a world whereby people have to make up imaginary enemies after their lives. People who want you dead, even though whether you are alive or you are dead, you have no value to anybody. That's the point. But you need to create an imaginary enemy for yourself. That is the world you are born into. The word that says you must constantly look at your back because somebody just want to kill you or somebody want to steal your glory. You that is the owner of the glory is not working for you. You are in extreme poverty. The world where if the political office holders, if they manage to bring a transformer into your streets, even though there will be no electricity supply into it, right? You just have to do a Thanksgiving that at least they remembered us and they gave us an electric transformer. That's the world you are born into. Now you have 22 million out of school children across Nigeria. These are the 22 million time bomb that are going to end up helping you to push you into that, further into that, that hellfire that the politicians are placing you. You may not understand this, and it's okay if you don't, or you eventually have to understand this. The earlier, the better. So coming out of it is just to let you know that you cannot, at this point, think somebody is deliberately making us poor, and that somebody, right, is your imaginary, enemy. The enemies are within. All of these places are controlled by the supposed indigenous people. If you go to Bayelsa, you will see the Ijaw, the Shekiri, and the rest of them running things in Niger Delta. If you go to Igbo land, you will see all of the Biafrans there running their things there, right? Not Awusa, not Fulani. If you come to Yoruba land, you will see those who are running the whole place. They are Yorubas from all the Yoruba ethnic and nationalities as well, right? If you go everywhere, means that if all of us are going to come out of this whole thing, it's going to get worse. I keep saying that it's going to get worse. And when it gets worse, none of us is going to be safe. Not anywhere. 22 million people, 22 million children out of school. These are the 22 million awaiting time bomb that are also going to make life hell. For those of you who are going to survive this multi-dimensional poverty in your lifetime, your children are not going to survive what is coming from the consequences of this at the end of the day. The other time I was reading where the Wike was telling people, he said, Bokwari gave them 500 billion naira. Those are the oil producing states. Niger Delta, I'll give you the names of the states. You have Rivers states, Delta states, Cross River state, Edo states, Bayelsa, Lagos, Ondo, and then one other, I think, Imo, Abia. The Shah gave them about 500 billion last year. It's called the 13% derivation formula. Nigeria is where they rob Peter to pay Paul, something that is creating all of this problem, this fake one Nigeria, fake unity that they are preaching, the unity beggars, okay? Resources, the sharing, make the money, share the money. The politicians take them and they pay some handful sellers to sing their praises, and then while the people keeps living in poverty. So sharing, they take money from everywhere and then they share the money to everywhere according to the population. Now, the people from the Niger Delta, oil producing region of Nigeria, they now demanded for what they call the 13% derivation. Now, that 13% is what they call their own share from the money they make from Nigerian crude oil. So, cut the long story short, yeah. Just last year, where the Wike said they paid them 500 billion naira. Okay, and all of them will receive this money. Only one or two of them are currently above the poverty level that we just mentioned. Okay, the money went down the drain. Now, just recently, they've also been paid another 750 billion naira, and according to Wike, none of them is also saying anything. Now, for the record, because they got that money, and that money was paid to those who are Yorubas among them, who are Igbos among them, who are Ijaws and Niger Delta among them. But when you look at this chart I just shared with you right now, you possibly will ask yourself, wow, where is the money? They've stolen the money, because that's what Nigeria simply means. Poverty.
Saying that, why am I not inviting them to commission projects? You invite me to commission in your own place. So I have a choice to invite whoever I want to come and commission a project. A biggie man, 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 a biggie man. In order for size, oh, biggie man, a biggie man, biggie man, a biggie man. On Wednesday, Adam Toshomole will come and commission. On Thursday, Peter Obi will come and commission.
As he dey bend them, he dey see with us. As he dey see with us, he go dey pepper them.
On Friday, President Buhari will commission the Nigerian Law School.
Mora, mora, nobody gets it mora like we get. Mora, mora, nobody gets it mora like we get.
On Monday, Kwakwanso will come and commission.
Guess we can pepper them. I say pepper them. Guess we can pepper them. I say pepper them.
So I choose those I want them to come. So if you want to have high blood pressure, it's your business.
So that was him saying that the 170 billion naira he collected as the 13% that belong to Rivers State, he used the money to do all the project that is now inviting whoever he wanted. He will invite them to come and commission. He said everyone should ask all of these people who collected this money. Bayelsa State collected over 200 billion. Delta State collected over 200 billion. Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Abia, where here again? Imo, Lagos collected 4 billion. Ondo, and the rest who collected the money. That you should ask them, what did they do with the money? A big one, isn't it? So, talking about poverty, I just thought I share that with you. However, in the face of if the people will learn or they want to learn, I have told you that Nigerian politicians are doing everything to break up, to help the breakup of Nigeria. You might just have to do your own part. And what is your part? Your part is to ensure that the criminals who contributed to this rot would make this destruction possible. These criminals who have fleeced us for from generation to generation. Now, when they finally meet their Waterloo, when their feeding bottle is taken away from them, because it's not going to last. You cannot run a country like that and expect such to last long. And if you think there is something that will eventually put Nigeria back, even if it's at the end of, you have no idea that the current damages you are witnessing has never been witnessed before in the history of Nigeria, right? Even when Nigeria fought the genocidal civil war of, the murder of the Biafrans at the time, that could have been called, that should be called the genesis of the Cold War, that the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria are currently sort of fighting. Well, not currently, from generations since after that, But the truth is that Nigeria has never been this divided. Nigerians have never been this poor. And Nigeria has never been this mismanaged, ever. Listen, it is so obvious. And you and I know it. Now, those who made that possible, they don't think they've done anything so bad because they don't see any responsibility on them for it. And that is why they can still see themselves as those who should still be in charge of your destiny and your future. Now, what they have done in the last 7 years to start with is enough to tell you that if they have no rethink, a retrace back, it is just a matter of time. So when that happens and they begin to run back and shouting, we are Yoruba, we are Amigbo, we are all Igbo, we are Biafran, you should get so prepared, educate yourself, enlighten yourself, and enlighten others that the number of well-informed indigenous people that are going to be waiting for them are going to be enough to resist them and possibly hold them up for what they have done to us, or what they did to us, or what they are currently doing to us. Now, I'm saying this because it is so easy to use emotional blackmail on you. And you see, as politicians, who have created a lot of problems and a lot of murders, a lot of killings, they are like chameleon. They can change and transform as fast as you can possibly imagine into anything. They can change character. They can cry if they have to cry before you. They can confess fraudulently just to convince you that they are now changed. They were so wrong. They will give you all reasons that will make you feel like, well, they are one of us. They should be. Now, you should make sure that people like that and those who believe in them are never in any way allowed to be among those who will decide what our own different countries should look like, where it should be headed. And that takes a lot of work than trying to say, oh, what are we going to do so that we can get out of Nigeria? Yes, as much as a lot of people can tell you they have something they are doing, which is good, by the way, nobody is doing the best job right now towards the breakup of Nigeria than the Nigerian politicians, who have played all kind of cards that they have to keep this fraud together. Now, they have mismanaged, they've bankrupted Nigeria. The poverty is escalating. When it gets to a stage, they will lose control of the whole thing. Now, when that happens, do you want to be preaching just revolution to keep Nigeria together? Or you will be preaching and a sort of a better revolution, which says, let's not keep it together for these criminals again. They've ruined it. They've ruined her. They've almost ruined our lives. For surviving them, this is it. We can do it in our way, because that's exactly what we signed up for. Now, what does that simply mean is this: a country that wants a the politicians, the government, and then the leaders and so on, that want a real united, prosperous, safe country, they are not going to be paying terrorists. And they are not going to be paying terrorist ransoms. They are not going to be spending billions of your money rehabilitating terrorists who continue to go back and continue the job of kidnapping, that continue the job of terrorism. Now, the system that really want to put an end to that will not be paying them. You agree with me? A system that is interested in resolving all the issue of development among the people will not be afraid to conduct an honest and sincere population census, which development, security, growth, and every other thing that you can think of are always planned upon if you have a real people in charge. But it is not so. What they have is like a sort of a concentration camp where madmen are those deciding your destiny. So what do you think will happen? It's just going to get more chaotic, and eventually it's going to explode. When it explodes, would Tinubu become an angel to the Yorubas? Would Obasanjo become an angel to the Yorubas? Would all these Yoruba politicians right now who are shouting Nigeria, 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 would they suddenly become pro-Yorubas? And then you will suddenly see them as pro-Yorubas overnight. That is why information, education, enlightenment like this must never cease, because the greatest job of breaking up of Nigeria is being done by these criminal politicians from the north to the south, from the east to the west, and to every part of Nigeria. They are making people poorer, and it gets how long and how much that poverty level will reach. And as they say popularly, when the poor people have nothing else to eat, they will hit the rich. And when they begin to eat the rich, that is an explosion. And that is going to be a loss of control. That is going to be the revolution. But if you don't plan, let's say, as they say, if you fail to plan, you are automatically planning to fail. Emotion will never give you your republic. Emotion will never give you the independence. Emotion will never, by any means, give us any sovereignty. Calculation, information, education, preparedness, and the readiness to really have it and hone it. And you can do that by practicing it. You have to what? Hone it now and prepare by getting others involved. How do you do that? Why should you do that? Because if you don't, when Nigeria explodes, most of these rogues that are currently dealing and doing all these damages to every one of us, from the north to the south to everywhere right now, they always have this kind of feelings that when Nigeria explodes, they always have a place called home to run back to. And the people back home are now being deep and deep and deep, further and further into poverty by their own collusion with this frauderia, which has served no one but them, the selected few criminals who are disguising under different criminal groups called political parties. And you, the victims, are those. They are now pulling your statistics up. The poor, the poorest, and it's going to get worse. That is scary. It should scare you. And that is why, no matter how much they try to talk it away, I kind of love to put it to you and remind you that whatever happens to you, you are an architect of that. One way or the other, you are culpable. Yeah, you are. Now I'm going to go to Kano, where they had a walk for Tinubu just yesterday, and his son was there with them. I'll pick few that I got. I think this is one of them, not sure. Also, by the way, there's also the Atif Queen in Gombe. There's a few things I'm going to say to you about the new, what they call the Integrity PDP, High PDP. Remember the NPDP? Those are the ones who kicked Jonathan out. This new PDP where, you, Atif, and the rest of them, okay? Now, Wike has started his own and they call it High PDP, which is Integrity PDP. Is such a train wreck. I will stop by in Kano. There is more. I think there's another one. Let me show you that one briefly. I have told you before, when you see political gathering, we have done the math, okay? We know Nigeria has 128 million extremely poor people, and with 20 million, with 25 or 30 million naira, you can fill up a space with over 20,000 people if you give them 1,000 naira. Do you understand? So that's normal, even though it is the tradition as well, okay? But nevertheless, I think somebody said Tinubu's son. Well, they didn't just say I saw him there, but I'm not sure if it's this clip. Let's check this one.
ana godiya kamna da mataimakinsa da mutanen su da Kano suna godiya Tinubu ana godiya da kamna da mataimakinsa da mataimakinsa alhaji mutanen su da Kano suna godiya ai gaba mana muna godiya ai gaba kan isu ku gaba mana ai gaba mana muna godiya ai gaba mana Lokan Allah ya yi gaba dan Allah ku yi gaba an kan ku wuce ku gaba wuce madalla wuce da fili su kuwa kofar Nasarawa Allah ya sa an da alheri mun gode kofar Nasarawa ko ku wuce yayi kyau a wuce mun gode mun yi sha'iran Kano madalla Kaniwood Tinubu Bangat mun gode ku wuce ku zo ku wuce a zo a wuce kada daya kuma da ɗaya dan Allah ku wuce a tabilin su kuwa can za a je a jawabi can za a je a bayani Kaniwood Tinubu Bangat ku wuce kuma ku zo ku wuce gawo da gawo ku zo ku wuce Tinubu solidarity ku zo ku wuce yawa mai mota wuce masu mota ku wuce ku ƙara so Tinubu gawuna ku ƙara.
I don't even know what that means anyway. Now, that's Kano. And from the report, I think you have 4 million voters in Kano. And they said 2.7 million of them are actually like a fake. Can you believe that? These are going to be the possible deciders of who will be your vote, and there's likely nothing you can do about that, okay? These are the faces and the names on their voters register. And according to the report, they said they have, INEC said they have registered 91 million people that will vote. Unfortunately, over 40 million of that number are like fictitious, fake, fraudulent, inserted, and they decide who becomes what. And that is why some people are saying, if you go to the core north, and you see how much they've lied to you, okay? You begin to say, where are these numbers coming from in a popular local government somewhere in northern Nigeria? Somebody recorded this, but they spoke in Hausa or what have you, and you can possibly tell me what they are saying. But these are the land where they have millions of voters, but you can't see them.
Residents living in those areas. As you can see, this is between Gumi local government of Zamfara states and Wike local government of Zamfara states. Definitely, there are no network in these areas. And the people of Manchester, UK, they are the one, the Nigerian diaspora, they are the one taking the responsibility of this survey. I'm not the only person. They sponsored, they asked to go around the local areas in the northern Nigeria. I think under my team, we have 50 persons that are doing the same thing right now, going villages to villages. Although this is not my destination for today, I found it necessary to report this place and send it to Nigerians that definitely in all these two local governments there is no network. And there are villages, thousands of villages, that there are no network. That means in 2023 the elections will be conducted manually. This will show you the kind of manipulation system the present administration are developing the Manchester UK people. If not because of them, we will not know exactly what is happening in the villages in Nigeria. If I reach the destinations, I will show you the other village heads and the concern. Thank you.
Thank you, Nigerians in diaspora in Manchester United, UK. Now give us a glimpse, but we got what we wanted to get from that. That report, that person who was recording that clip was trying to show to everyone that no matter what they are promising you about your election, electronic transfer of results, result will be monitored, Beavers is not using internet, Beavers can blah, blah. All those things that you are reading on social media. When you go down there, the reality will set in and you'll be like, oh, I'm not sure they've ever have any election in these places. Number one, nobody goes there. Here you get, like, they are just on paper. What they do is just what? They continue to reject the register. And thank God, the guy, Jega, the one that actually built this, your voters card, your voters register. You know what I mean? So if you go down there, you will see the truth. Most of these areas are mostly now controlled by terrorists. The people there have actually left. How many were there? How many are they? How many were they? But in the population figure, they've manipulated everything, and they would never. And that's why you don't see real development there. You go to Kaduna, you say, "Oh, not so developed though." If you see the road in the north, where have you been in the north? Other than just their state capital and few other places they wanted you to actually make it look like somebody was telling you there thousands of villages, communities to community, thousands of them. Imagine, as people said, you will travel for hours from one destination to another within a supposed state up north. They have the landmass, but they don't have the numbers. They don't have the people. That has been a generational lie that they have. It's called the best kept lies of Nigeria. The moment that lie burst, Nigeria go break up. And that's why I said that they are doing the job for you. Your own job, okay? Our own job is to make sure that our people understands the importance of honing their own life and then honing the narrative in their own country. Because when Nigeria breaks up finally, these rogues are going to come back home, and they would say, from our experience, which experience do you think the criminals in Nigeria, the criminal politicians in Nigeria, what experience do you think they have about public, public fund and public administration, other than just to loot and steal and kill? So when they are going to come back, you should be educated enough. Our people should be well informed that they are the devil. They have told you for decades to be praying against the devil, the evil, the this or that, against your destiny that they have told you to pray up and pray for. It is so important. Now let's go back to them. At some point, they actually had a breakfast with Tinubu, the first son. When Tinubu become your president.
Thousands of youth, men and women rallied quickly from over down to Government House and down to Western. So, thank you very much. This achievement is a confirmation of the Army Revolution. Thank you very much. You are highly welcome.
Thank you for respecting the time and protocol. At this juncture, we would like to also invite Honorable Ahmed Rabiu, who will speak on behalf of the business community, Kano State. After him, we will have like 3 different speeches from business community. Members of the business community will have a word with the Chief Executive Board, Honorable Ahmed Rabiu, who is about to tell us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Excellency Chairman. I just was given an information how you responsible. But let's just say, I don't know what I want to say that for 2 minutes, time is fast spent, and our brother is on his way back to the airport, and we need to make our international very and this committee is pleased for this opportunity to interact with you. We believe whatever
Una know wetin dey annoy me pass for this election matter. Those of you now wey be say una dey abroad na comot for this country because una dey find good life for una self and una children. I make una run comot because this country e no good, e no let una stay. I make una run comot. But you can't comot now dey abroad. You dey from there they campaign for PDP and APC. We kill this country. We make this country dey like this. So we not make you feel stay. You still dey campaign for them. Now Ogun go kill you. Now Ogun, there is no 2 ways about it. Ogun go do collaboration with thunder, fire you. The way you take go empty-handed, now that empty-handed, now you take come back. You dey enjoy the good things of life. Oh, you see government provide good road for them. Security you get. What anything way that you they pay for, you they receive and they receive light, good road, good social amenities. But you they say make we see the vote for this PDP and APC for here where you live, where you because of a wrong. It not go better for you. Anything where you lay your hand upon for that side, it not go move forward. Not because now karma. Now wait till you bring upon yourself. Now you they receive so. Because I can you imagine how this country don't die rich? The thing can't pay you. You can't run. You don't even consider people where you still run no way not female can reach there. All of them back for Libya road. Today now that they kidnap who they kidnap. They send videos to their loved ones for yeah. May that they bring out some money, else they'll buy their pikin. You can't see get mad because you don't cross, you don't dare obodo ibo. Anyhow we work out for yeah, you not concern you again. You still the campaign. You still you get mad on your useless phone. On your useless phone, we go put you for trouble. Say you dey campaign for all these old men we kill this country. You not go better for you. Anything where you lay your hand upon for good, you not go prosper. You will never see light in your life. The way you say they pray for darkness for this country, light go run from you. Every good things of life go run for you. It go run for you and your family and your children. And your children. Because if they wish other children bad luck, how your children go take better, I don't go better for them. Now wait till you bring upon yourself, now you they receive so this early morning. Now I say me I can't tell you now where they vote, they say una want to say a government and leaders where kill this country, where no one made this country better. If today now youths now they don't get safe for this country. You see they agitate for them, not go better for you.
Some people think say you dey do juju. Is this a joke? They will never go free. Them dey born face so. Oh yeah, Dawood them dey born face for. Easy body yeah. You're so wicked they walk oh. You know, as I'm watching on television now, they paint them. That is all. And they sweet there. When they see me appear like this, they paint them. And I promise them, I'm here to bury them. I see they paint them, they sweet us. I see they paint us, they paint. When you say, I see they paint them, they sweet us. I see they sweet us, they go they paint. I see they paint them, they sweet us. Face me and face you. Every morning, every afternoon, every night, weekend, every day, weekend. Weekend is not important. Why are you worried? Weekend is not important. Why are you worried? The more you look, the less you see.
The more you look, the less you see.
The more you look, the less you see.
Again.
The more you look, the less you see.
Again.
The more you look, the less you see.
With a Wike, ladies and gentlemen, the leader of High PDP that comprises of with a Wike, Sheyi Solo Makinde, they call him Solo Makinde or something now, I don't know. Sheyi Makinde, Ogwai, this one from Enugu, and the other one from and then one more from Benue. Autumn, they are called the I Group, Integrity Group. Nigeria, then politicians and PDP said they wanted the power back up to the north, back to the north. They formed a group called New PDP, NPDP. So this IPDP are also called G5, the PDP 5 governors. Now with the Wike be their chairman. That is why he said it's peppering there. Aku. according to Wike, he will bury him and then he will feel no remorse about it. But that is a bit of a contrast to what he promised them when he said, give me power, send me. How many of you remember this? A flashback for you, ladies and gentlemen, because it is now the turn of Kwakwanso for Wike's Pepe Demo, Pepe Demo. But let's go back to that convention before this drama now became the train wreck. Somebody said it's a shit show. It is a shit show, but this is the genesis.
I want to lead charge for a government that will interrogate our basic governance structures. I want to lead a government that will ask, for instance, why we cannot generate energy from coal deposits in Enugu, the coal deposits in Kogi State, or why we cannot generate energy from the abundant gas deposits on the coastal lines, why we cannot generate energy from the various wind lines in northern Nigeria, why we cannot generate energy from the sun, abundant sun in northern Nigeria.
The atmosphere right here inside this venue of the convention is completely and absolutely electrifying. Supporters of Governor of Rivers State, Wilson Wike, are making the loudest of noise here. Each time he tries to move from one place to another, making, the sound, they raise the noise, completely, in a manner, keeping everywhere here absolutely charged.
About why we cannot take our universities back to the good days when they had autonomy, when universities could admit and administer itself. I want us to ask basic questions concerning why, for instance, we keep on resisting every pressure, every attempt to break the Nigerian police and make it federal and state police. One more minute. I have been drowned, but the time is 1 more minute. I ask you, dear delegates, to vote for me to fly the flag of our great party. PDP! PDP!
And finally, may I invite the governor of Rivers State, wearing 2 caps of presidential aspirant, Governor Nyesom Wike. Come down. PDP! You are not doing it as if you want to take over power. PDP! Power! 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 Your Excellencies, our dear leaders, very important delegates today, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I have come to your states to speak to you. Today is for me to thank you. It's for me to thank you for the energy. Since morning, you have been here because of this party. Thank you, special delegates. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Listen, I will speak to you on 2 issues. One is the party. Let me vow today, anybody who emerges here, I will support the person to the fullest. Anybody who emerges here today, I will support the person to the fullest because I'm a committed party person, because I love this party, because since 1998 I've been in this party. I work for this party. I will not go anywhere. This is my party. Secondly, if I emerge today, every state that has a problem, it is my duty to make sure the party is united. We'll unite everybody to make sure we win this election 2023. You know, I didn't come here today to tell you about theory. What is the problem with Nigeria? Leadership. Leadership is the major problem with Nigeria. Therefore, PDP, you must not make mistake. You must have a courageous leader, a fearless leader, somebody who can withstand APC. And it is me. It is me. Please, please, my dear delegates, send me for this assignment. Let me go and win APC. I will win APC for the power to come back to PDP on behalf of Nigerians. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And God bless you.
Recent Wike sure has a very special way of.
That was the moment it dawned on him that there's no going back until what do you call it? Until he later became he called himself an activist. Now he's now fighting for the people. Agreement is agreement, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. So you see why Wike is angry. He had a deal with his friend, Tambuwa. That Tambuwa will give him the dead super delegate of that area. And he paid him. Then he was going to get all the other delegates that he paid. Last, he was expecting about 300 to 400 votes, only to get just 260 something he paid for by himself. The ones that Tambuwa collected money to pay for, Tambuwa now came on stage and said, all of you should go and vote for Atiku. And so Wahala started. Today, Wike is now a free agent in people's destroying the people. Well, he's not the only one who left PDP. I'm sorry, he's not the only one who has problem with PDP. Kwakwanso, as of today, will have the backing of Emperor Wike for 2023. Like Obi. Now, the only person we don't want to see now Tifku. But last night, Kwakwanso was there too with Wike.
He took our man?
No, he hasn't.
He's still in our party. He's still in our party.
He's no more in our party. No, I am. I'm with Integrity Group.
You're with Integrity Group?
I'm with Integrity Group.
Integrity Group is the Democratic Party. I believe it. Not one of them went to foreign people. Sorry, sir. I was in the sorry, sir. I was in the I was telling you, he took our man?
No, he hasn't.
He's still in our party. He's still in our party.
He's no more in our party. No, I am. I'm with Integrity Group.
You're with Integrity Group?
Integrity Group. Men who lack integrity are using the word integrity. Nobody so they call it Bokuwari, Mr. Integrity. A thief, Mr. Integritive. People where you suppose they call integritives, you are calling them, you are using integrity for them. But what you will know, no be Nigeria, where you are calling criminals, excellencies, distinguished, honorable sir, honorable ma. àwọn wèrè bugije. I don't think Atiku is in any way reasoning what Wike is doing to them and the damages of the G5. Not that we should care, or it's just to be mentioned as it is, because Atiku himself was in Gombe. Yeah, Gombe. And as expected, Keneri Dino was on ground to wet the floor. The official court jester for Atiku's presidiocy campaign. Dino, I don't know if it's just my mind, or maybe you are going to hear the same thing, right? Listen to this. Said he was speaking Hausa. I mean, I swear, in all honesty, when I played that video, what I first heard was like bulu bulu bulaba, and there's a bala bulu. Bulu bulu bulaba, bala bulu. Like me, I would say bulu bulu bulaba. You would say bala bulu. But they said he was speaking Hausa. It's not bulu bulu bulaba. My yegun, calm down. But listen to it again. De kunumbulaba balabulu. De kunumbulaba balabulu. This is something that this will sound familiar. This is somebody who it could only be from somebody who attended Tifnumbu's academy or something like this, or maybe something like this. because it's called Bat English 101, or the title of subtitle of Bat Participles. Bala blue or babla blue, blue, bulaba. So that's where I got this from. Oh, I mean, I'm not trying to be somebody. I know some of you will be laughing, but it shouldn't, in all honesty. So I'm going to have a chance. If I have a chance, I will ask Ahmed, what does this mean? Zukun bulu bulaba bala bulu. The kunu do not. Damn it. Anyway, I am not from Tifnumbu's, what do you call it? English language or Batiphonics or Batisipus. I'm not a disciple, so therefore I'm going to be lost completely. But also from Gombe today, the numbers are there. The people to hire are there. What else do they need? Just to show up. And the showing up is what they did exactly. Look at this.
alfarman wannan kunshi da aka samu a wannan kasa ya Allah ka ba wa Atiku Abubakar shugaban Najeriya ya Allah ka ba wa Atiku Abubakar shugaban Najeriya ya Allah ka ba shi shugaban Najeriya Allah ka iyar masa ka daba masa abokan aiki ka zaunar da mu lafiya ka ba mu rufin asiri ka ba mu haɗin kai ka ba mu ƙarfin tattalin arziki ka ba mu fahimtar juna ka ba mu lafiya da wadanniya ka ƙara mana arziki da wadata jihar mu ta Gombe yan takarar mu duka ya Allah ka ba su ka musu jagora ka taimake su ka taimake mu duka ka ba mu lafiya da lafiya subuhun qudusun rabbul malaikatu wa ruh rabbi ighfir warham anta khayrul rahimin rabbi ighfir warham bina wa lamma da'ana fa innaka antal azizul azam allahumma ja'alna min jundika fa innaka minhum ghalibun wa ja'alna min jundika fa innaka minhum mahfuz wa ja'alna min awliyaika fa inna awliyauka la khawfun alayhim wa lahum yahzanun allahumma ya ilahal alamin ya mujib
Amin ya Rabbi amin alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. If you were a select now so they go pray in the name of Allah when they want to start to discuss how they are going to organize how to loot you, how to rob you, even how to kill you. Okay? And at the end of the meeting, they will also pray to Jesus or pray to God or pray to Allah again and say, Alhamdulillah for the successful meeting. Now let's go out and commit the crime. These are a bunch of hypocrites, criminals. But look at the numbers. They will always have the numbers. The people they made poor deliberately. And that was why when those who showed up when Wike was hosting Kwakwanso, he was there, he was asking them, what else do you people want from me? What else do you want from me? Let's go back to River State quickly. Where Wike hosted Kwakwanso earlier and what they had, or they chatted on. And Wike, being weary, will always be weary, Wike. And you will never be disappointed in what you expect. I don't know what you are thinking right now, But should rest assured, it is Wike, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this.
Good. What do you people want me to do again that I'm not done? What do you want me to do again? Have I not done well for you? Have I not done well for you? Have I not fulfilled my promises to you?
Ready to be the monorail when they walk you.
And therefore, I have told all of us. They say, oh, I have caused trouble. I said, what is the trouble? But they say, oh, the Niger Delta State shall account for the money. I never said so to anybody. All I said, people should thank Buhari for me. For giving me money to do all the project. That's what I said. If you will interpret it in a different way, it's your own business. Is it wrong to thank somebody who has done well for you? Does it mean you won't thank me for what I've done?
Why not? Who said that?
That's what I said. People brought food for me here. You brought what? The girls of mother don't understand no. No, it's sheep.
Okay.
So, he brought native cow, which is English cow. So, to thank me, is it not? You brought yam. You brought bags of garri. You brought plantain. Is it not? You brought fish. Thanking me. What are you thanking me for? For what I have done, is it not? Is it not? Is there anything wrong in that? No. So if I thank somebody who gave me money, is there anything wrong? No. Is there anything wrong? No. I don't understand why people play politics every time. Let me thank you. Let me thank you. People may not understand. When you wanted to lead PDP, I came to your house in Abuja. I said, sir, don't leave the party. I pleaded with you. I came 2 times. Those who never meant well for this party, who will want to take control where they never sold. You want to reap where you never sold. They said, no. Leave Kwakwanso to go. Who is he? Let him go. After all, I was senior president when he was the deputy speaker in House of Reps. I said, no. It's an asset to the party in Kano State. Kano is very, very important for our party. Therefore, whatever it takes, let's keep him. Let's manage him. They said, no, let him go. I said, the more the merrier. We're opposition party. We cannot continue to drive our people away. Whoever is angry, let's keep him. They said, no. Oh, I went to Kwakwanso. I said, yes, because I know with him in Kano that likelihood that it will be better for us. But if we remove him or we allow him to go, the repercussion will be too heavy. I said, no. Kwakwanso left out. The only thing he told me that, well, I can remain, he will not remain. I said, okay, I will stay and survive it and fight back. But let me tell you why I'm saying this today. When he was going, he told me, look, I'm going. My people who are remaining will support you. I know one thing I like in life. Forget these bogey people now. All these are bogey. they tell you one thing, yeah, before you turn, they've done a different thing. He told me, he said, look, I can assure you, those of them who are remaining in the party, those of them who are going with me will go with me. But those who are remaining, I can assure you they'll support you. And they did. And they did. And that's why we talk about integrity. Do you understand what I mean? Integrity is very, very important. Whatever you tell me, do. Whatever I don't want to do, you don't need to say you will do it. So you're a man of integrity. You are a man of integrity. It's unfortunate we're not in the same party. But God will help at the appropriate time. God will help. People like this are people that should talk about leadership of the country. Yes, I have no apologies to make to anybody. I said it to Peter Obi when he came. And I want to also tell you that if you are coming for campaign here, I will give you the logistic support for you to campaign. You are a former governor. The difference between me and you that you are former, I'm still present. You are a former minister, I'm a former minister. So why will I not accord you all the necessary support, protocol, and logistics? Why? And when you're a governor, you perform excellently well. Everybody knows in this country. Everybody knows. And so I'm not afraid to say I'll give you all the logistic support. I will do it. Protocol demands that I should do that. So I thank you for coming. And let them know these are people who mean well for this country. You are not preaching based on ethnicity. You are not preaching based on religion. You are selling yourself to Nigerians. Vote for what I can do. If that's just me in Kano, if that's me as a former minister, I have what it takes to drive this country from where we are to the next level of development. It's not to say.
I mean, you know now, he's very Wike. He's the emperor. In everything he signs, he believes he's so smart, okay? Same way he got played by Tambua. You know what Wike is doing with his integrity stuff, right? When he goes into alliance, he will sign that here, nobody should contest against the people I put forward. And for you, I promise you I will give you all the support you need. All of this just to get back at PDP at Tifku, just same way they got back at Goodluck Egbere, Joe Lantan. So normally you call that anti-party, but he knows what he's doing because Nigeria, it not be Nigeria. But look at those clowns. Those are the people that are promising you and your children that Nigeria is going to be great, and you believe them. Let's say this one, this one, they come out of his shell now. I'm talking about Obi. It was at a parley where they were talking about, I don't know, like they were questioning him about what he's going to do and all of that stuff. And at a point, he snapped, and it was like, people like you.
You are not seeing it. It doesn't, you see, when you want to change the society, because majority of the people, including yourself, live off the old order, they don't see the future. That's why they say leader must be a visionary.
So I'm going to drop the curtains here. I'm going to draw the curtains here, drop the mic here, and I'm going to see you some other time. The purpose of this broadcast is to remind you that all these things you are hearing about, the damages, the corruption, the poverty, the insecurity, and the rest of them, they are real. And the victims of all of them are real people. Some of you are the victims as well, but living in denial will never make them go away. Now that they have confirmed that more than 80% of Nigerians are actually living in extreme poverty. Compare the numbers and tally them together. The people that did this to you, they became richer, powerful, very, very powerful. You know them. And they are seeking to do worse to you by promising you what they normally promise you. We're going to make Nigeria great. We're going to make your life better, but they make your life worse. If you want to find out if they're going to do it or not, that's up to you. But the numbers don't lie. You know that. The numbers don't lie. The numbers says they have done so much damages to you that it's just a matter of time before this whole thing implodes. A real implosion. And when it does, even if you have been accustomed to blaming people for your miserable and then unfortunate lives that Nigeria has brought upon you, and even most of you brought it upon yourself, listen to me. You have nobody to blame when that happens. It's always good to know that, as they say, elections have consequences. One of them is this. The poverty capital of the world in Nigeria, that Nigeria is real. Those who are the victims of that poverty, they are real. They are watching me. Some of them are watching me right now. It doesn't matter what you do, but there's something you must remember. For everything you do, there's always a consequence for that. I wish you are the only person who actually bears the ground or the brunt of what you've done. Unfortunately, I'll draw the curtains here and I'll keep reminding you. So until next time, stay safe. And remember, if they have lied to you about Nigeria and you are so ashamed to change that, to unbelieve those lies, to unlearn those fraud they've told you, stick around. Stay on Mayegun's Diary Political. I can help you and you'll get over it. You'll be independent thinkers that, we no longer listen to all these maniacs, these narcissistic sociopaths, criminals who are heartless, living off crime, because they have built a successful system that actually rewards crime and criminals. You can be somebody who is like, who wants to be outside that box they're putting everybody in. And if you think that transition can be a little bit dodgy, a little bit confusing, come on, don't pressure yourself. Stay on this Mayegun's Diary Political. I will help you. And you overcome all of this. And you speak boldly, confidently against the lies that you would have to discover yourself. Until then, right? Stay safe and good night. Thanks so much, by the way, for that your super sticker, my friend. I'll see you some other time. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun Diary Political.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Mayegun ti dé.
lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bíjó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti jọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.